Alright guys, so this morning over on Twitter, MiHoYo decided to drop the ball in the only way that could actually be a good thing. Hello kings, queens, and majesties, welcome to WhaleStat, I am Slice of Otaku. So as of the previous update, update 1.6, MiHoYo has decided to get ahead of the leaks community by sort of soft announcing their upcoming characters prior to them being available and accessible in the beta. What is to me a pretty understandable stance and approach they've decided to take, considering leaks at this point are an inevitability. The game is just so big, it is so massive that if they're going to have these sorts of things, if they are going to reach out and actually have people try out the game, they already know that people are going to leak out what they have, what they are able to amass and acquire, and even data mine. With that being said, MiHoYo is never going to actively divulge as much as the leak community does, especially not immediately, and in this case, a few days after a recent update. But at the very least, it seems as though these proceedings will continue to let us know which characters we can expect with the upcoming updates. What I personally believe to be an amazing thing for us all, as for a lot of people, the only reason they ever dabbled into leaks to begin with was to be prepared to know what characters they should save up their precious primo gems and resources for. I mean, honestly, that's the reason I ever decided to look. And so I think that MiHoYo doing this, even if begrudgingly by a forced hand, it's a very good thing. It is a good thing for the community in general. But let us get into these actual characters who are going to be available with Genshin Impact Update 2.1. First up, we have Sengonomia Kokomi, the Pearl of Wisdom, who bears the title of Hibernating Homebody Strategist. She is the divine priestess and supreme leader of Watatsumi Island, and apparently many believe Sengonomia Kokomi to be an enigmatic shrewd leader. And very obviously, she is a Hydro character. Now this is a beautiful character design. I mean, she is just dazzling. I am already ready to roll for her. However, there is one fear. The fear that she will be a Catalyst user, because she looks like a Catalyst user. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but she does look like she uses magic and that sort of thing. We don't want that. We already have 2 Hydro Catalyst users, so we want her to be something else. If I were to presume her to be anything else, if I were to assume that she'd be anything else, I would say that she might be a bow user. I don't know. That's the closest thing that comes to mind when I look at her visage here. It would actually be very nice if they were to provide us a bit of information, just tell us what sort of weapon type these characters are going to wield. You know that's not going to change this late in the game, and you're telling us in advance what their element of choice is going to be, so that little bit of information would be nice if you're going to go this far anyways. But yeah, by far to me, she is just like one of the prettiest characters we have ever seen in Genshin Impact, and I want her. I mean, she looks like a watery magical girl. Her sort of pinkish salmon colored hair, followed by the flowing of her dress, which is sort of like a fish's tails and fins and all that, is beautiful. But after her, we have the character that I really want. The moment I saw this character, I was like, I need to get her, I need to roll for her. Although I'm rolling for everyone, I am definitely anticipating this character. She just looks amazing. And that's generally the sort of scope you're going to get, or reaction you're going to get from all these characters from me in Genshin Impact for the most part. But my goodness, this is a wonderful character design. It is simple, it is clean, and she is great. This is Kujo Sara, the Crowfeather Kaburaya, who we know from the story to be the general of the Tanryo Commission. And for whatever reason, with her description, they decided to say this twice by saying that she is the leader of the Tanryo Commission's forces, bold, decisive, and skilled in battle. She looks amazing, and you know, if I did not know better, if I did not see the 2.0 live stream and the trailer associated with it, I would assume that she might be a polearm user or something of the sort. However, she looks to be a bow user in actuality, although we already have Fischl. And I would have actually preferred her to be a polearm user because we do not yet have a polearm user that is electro infused. But if she actually is going to be a bow user, then I would at the very least hope that she is a good one. And I mean good in the sense of validating our use of her, because Fischl is stupendous, and it looks like we are going to be having a lot of bow users in this game at this point. So I'd hope that they would dial back a bit. Fingers crossed that this was just trailer bait, but it looks like she is going to be a bow user nonetheless. Now, for as much as I adore the visuals of this character and her whole demeanor and all of that, I do fear that players are going to skip her banner or whatever for the character we are about to bring up next. And hey, whatever floats your boat. I know we don't have anything gameplay wise, so it is definitely just waifu energy and resonance, no elemental. But off of first impressions and visuals, I will say that right off the bat, Kujo Sara has potential to be my favorite female character in the game. I said it, she looks good. But last but most certainly not least, we have the Ryden Shogun herself. Plane of Uthymia, whatever that means, her eternal excellency. The undisputed supreme leader of Inazuma. Her excellency, the almighty Narukami Ogosho, promised the people of Inazuma an unchanging eternity to last throughout the ages. Now, oh my goodness, she looks amazing in this character art. She is again pulling a sword out of, her cleavage here, which, unless this is bait, obviously makes it clear that she is going to be a sword wielder. So ka-ching, if you could please kindly step to the side here, we have a real queen pulling up. So yeah, if we are going to be getting 2 Electro characters, I imagine that the Archon is definitely going to be a sought after one who may supersede our previously discussed Kujo Sara. And I mean, yeah, the Ryden Shogun looks really cool. And of course, when it comes to Genshin Impact, there is really no such thing as a bad character. I mean, there are characters that fall short in comparison to others, but there's no such thing as a bad character. And at this point, thanks to the Morax or Zhongli precedent, there is no way that they can make an Archon weak or even remotely underwhelming, so you know that Baal is going to be very powerful. But yeah, those are our 3 new characters coming with Genshin Impact Update 2.1. Now, as for the sorts of roles we can expect these characters to play on our teams, a bit of theory crafting here, just a bit of speculation on my part, I will say that I thoroughly expect Sengonomia Kokomi to be a support character of some sort. I mean, she absolutely looks like that, and with the title of strategist, it makes a lot of sense, at least to me. Hydro at this early stage in our journey with the game seems to more than anything especially be a supportive role, a supportive element, and skewed in that fashion, and I do not expect this character to be breaking the mold anytime soon when it comes to that. As for Kujo Sara, as a general, I'm expecting her to have some offensive capabilities. I'm expecting her to be a main or sub DPS, and if I wanted to be even more precise than that with my assumption and bet here, I will say that she might just fulfill a role similar to Albedo as a sub DPS. A sort of unique utility that allows her to bolster our team's forces, especially when paired with the Ryden Shogun, who she is eternally loyal to. There is electro resonance to be had with that, and I imagine that the Ryden Shogun is going to be our very first main DPS Archon. You have Venti, who is very much a support, you have Zhongli, who is a support in the form of shields and all that, and with the ever forceful hand of the Ryden Shogun, with her wielding a sword, with her having split the very land in 2, there is no doubt to me that she is going to be a very formidable force when it comes to DPS. And once again, with the possibility of her being underwhelming being pretty much null, I definitely imagine her to be a pretty good main DPS if I'm being specific. But yeah guys, that about does it for this video. Let me know which of the 3 you are more inclined to roll for. I, for one, roll for every character for the sake of the channel and my own experimentation and all that. But I will say that from a more conservative outlook, I would go for Baal or the Ryden Shogun immediately. But as you can probably tell from my discussion of these characters throughout this video, Kujo Sara has my heart. That would be the character that I would roll for personally if I was unable to roll for everyone else. But let me know how you feel about that in the comments down below. And hey, if you enjoyed the discussion and want to be here for more Genshin Impact talk and guides and all of that stuff, be sure to subscribe to Whalestat with notifications on. I have been your host, Slice of Otaku. Thank you so much for choosing this video out of the sea of content available, and I hope you have an awesome day. I love you.